Hello, I'm Arianna Bennici, and for my peer review project, I was randomly selected to watch and analyze Group 1's presentation, which focuses upon early childhood, more specifically 3 to 5 years old. This stage is incredibly important because even though we might not remember it ourselves, it lays the foundation for how we grow physically, think, interact, and relate to the world. Here's the outline of my presentation. To begin, let's start by talking about cognitive development, or the ways in which children think and learn. This stage includes a part of PJ's pre-operational stage, from ages 2 to 7. Children at this age use mental symbols and imagination, experience egocentrism, meaning they have a hard time seeing the perspective of others, and have a rapid, expanding vocabulary. We look at Vygotsky's theory, which shows that children learn best when they are guided by others. This is called the zone of proximal development, and it's why learning alongside a parent, teacher, or peer can make such a big difference. Next up is physical development. Between ages 3 to 5, children begin to grow taller, lose some of that baby fat, and gain 5 to 7 pounds. They also develop stronger fine motor skills. That means they can do things like zipper up their jackets, pour themselves food, or even hop on one foot. But there are also concerns. Many children at this age are watching up to 4 hours of television per day, meaning they're at an increased risk of becoming overweight. Emotionally and socially, a lot is happening too. According to Erikson's theory, this stage is called initiative versus guilt. Kids are starting to set their own goals, make choices, and take initiative. But if they are criticized too much, they might start to feel guilty and become hesitant. Kids begin to form peer relationships that can be both positive and negative. They start to differentiate fiction and reality. They also begin to recognize and express a wider range of emotions. One of the best tools for growth is play. It's not just fun, but play also encourages creativity, emotional regulation, and social skills. Now, I'll share with you some feedback about my peers towards the ways in which they presented this topic, as well for the information that they provided to the class. To start, I'm discussed the areas which I believe that they personally need improvement on. I felt that the content itself was strong. It would have been more helpful, though, if they had a more defined introduction and conclusion to clearly frame the message and wrap everything up. At times, certain parts felt a bit rushed or even overwhelming, especially during the transition between speakers. More group practice could have helped them smooth out the timing and improve the overall flow. Lastly, I feel that a few slides had a bit too much text, which made it harder for the audience to follow along with everything. Simplifying the slides would have made everything a lot easier to follow. As for what the group did well, I felt that the overall content was very informative and clearly well structured. The consistent focus helped make the information feel connected and purposeful. I also really liked the visuals that they used because it helped further my understanding of the concepts being taught. This use of visual elements helped enhance my understanding without being too distracting. I also liked how the speakers maintained good eye contact and spoke clearly. These elements made the presentation feel thoughtful and engaging. To wrap everything up, ages 3 to 5 are a time of huge growth, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Children develop skills that shape how they learn, socialize, and solve problems. Building stronger bonds with caregivers at this stage helps children feel safe, secure, and confident. And even though we might not remember these years, they are some of the most formative and impactful of our lives. Thank you so much for listening.